We welcome you live into episode 6 of this week's episode of the Rivets Rundown, your source for anything, everything, anything that you could want that has to do with the Rockford Rivets. Hi, everyone. I'm Craig Combs. He's ParkerPorrill. Parker, how you doing this week, man? One week home from college now for a week now. How you been?
Oh, man, I've been great. I've been just chugging along, getting some work done, relaxing a little bit, but you can never relax too much. Been doing a lot of work, just the normal grindstone. But how are things going, Craig? You look, your background looks a little bit empty.
Yeah, man, it's called under construction. Kind of winding down the semester here and getting ready to make my transition from West Lafayette to Rockford. And so, I mean, I got Turbo Man still up there, so that's most important. Got to have Turbo Man with Purdue Pete up here, but no, man. Hey, it's been a good week. You and I did some talking off the air, some good talks. I was super surprised. We getting all the podcasts going and getting everything. We start talking about schedules.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh man, here we go. This is gonna be the one where we trip each other up here. And no, man, it was 20 minutes. It was super smooth. You got what you wanted. I got what I wanted. We talked it out. And yeah, man, I don't know if this happens very often, but it's gonna be a lot of fun working with you this summer.
No, man, I'm excited to get working with you as well, and I feel like it went very smooth. I tried, it's hard when you can't exactly see a face, but to still try and talk things out. But man, I feel like we both got what we wanted. At the end of the day, I want reps. I know you want reps. So when we both get what we want and we're both getting reps, what could be better than that,
Yeah, and hopefully the way that this team is put together and they play this season, they're going to give us even more reps at the end of the season, hopefully with some postseason stuff. And that's where the rings happen. I don't know about you, but I don't mind seeing a couple more weeks in August. So
I certainly don't mind either. But before we start transitioning to who we're going to talk to and the content of this episode, there's a little bit of rumblings on Twitter that there might be a name the mascot competition going on. Might there be, Craig?
There is a name the mascot competition, and breaking news earlier this week, the Rockford Rivets announced that there was going to be a new mascot. And not only was there going to be a new mascot, not only was there going to be a new mascot, but they're going to give the fans of the Rockford Rivets the opportunity to name the mascot. And I filled out my Google sheet. I don't know about you. Did you fill out yours?
Oh, I did. But personally, I was a little upset. I wanted Megan the Rivet, but they didn't go for that one. Instead, the options are Ruckus, Rally, Ringo, and Rookie. I'm of the belief that you can share your vote, but I don't know about you, Craig. I voted for Ringo. Rally was a close one. I liked Rally because it was like a baseball term, but I feel like Ringo the Rivet, that just kind of rolls off the tongue more. So I went with that one.
That's a good sound. I like that. I went with Rookie because it's just baseball. But yeah, we could have been very creative with that. And I think, could you imagine a Megan the Rivet night and you had Megan the Stallion come out with the Rivet mascot?
Exactly. It's a built-in advertisement.
Oh man, that Rockford would have melted down if that would have happened.
Exactly. I feel like Megan the Stallion did she throw out a first pitch for the White Sox or the Cubs? It was one team. So
I think it was the Houston Astros.
Oh, it was the Astros? Oh, that makes more sense.
Because
either way,
either
way, a flight from Houston to Chicago, go on the MARTA.
Hey,
it's right there.
At the end of that whole saying, it's just priceless. Whatever it ends up being, it's just priceless. It doesn't matter how much it has to cost. So
exactly. Well, maybe they'll bring a second mascot. Who knows? And that one will be Megan.
We'll have to wait and see, but go to the Rivets social media on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and get your vote in for the naming of the new mascot here. Can't say this enough, but First Community Credit Union Field, the new title sponsor of the Rockford Rivets, and you can come out to First Community Credit Union Field this summer. Tickets online right now, single tickets online right now. You can also get group tickets in Parker. There are a ton of groups in Rockford, and could you imagine going working anywhere? Obviously you're going to work at the baseball stadium, but working anywhere, and then you get to bring 15 to 18 of your closest friends to the baseball stadium.
Man, there's nothing better than that.
Come on.
nothing better than that, being with your best friends at the ballpark, and definitely go out there and get them. It's a worthy investment. That's your not to be like the stock channel, buy, but this one, it's going up. You got to buy it.
Hey, you have been at the forefront of this, but give us an update too on these jerseys, man. We talked about it last week a little bit with the promotions night, but I mean, the jersey, the alternate jerseys that we're gonna have a few times this season. What do you got, man? What's the update on those?
Oh man, they are looking great. Seen a couple of glimpses of them, and man, it looks like it just looks like it's going to be an ice cold night. You definitely want to bring your jacket to that one. I know it's going to be the summer, but they look clean right there.
It's going to be freezing cold that night at First Community Credit Union Field. Rockford Rivets going to be the Rockford Peaches for one game this year. Keep an eye out for the promotions of that night, but the Rockford Peaches for one night, and then 2 nights. I know that the pre-sale of the merch just ended, but for 2 nights this season, June 20th and June 27th, the Screw City Sock Monkeys. I mean, I can't even believe the fact that someone is going to be scrolling on the streaming channel that night and they're going to just see Screw City Sock Monkeys. That's going to stop them in itself. I got to check this out.
Exactly. And once again, before we prelude to this episode, first off, excited about the Sock Monkeys. Can't say that enough. But a quick little shout out to a former Rivet, Nick DeMarco, former Rivet. Hit his first home run of the season for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish a couple days ago. And that's definitely big to see. Great to see those former Rivets, succeed at the next level and succeed in college.
Yeah, and I don't know if you did that on purpose or not, but I mean, come on, man. I can't put over Notre Dame. Come on, dude.
Hey,
shout out Nick DeMarco. No, I get it. No, shout out Nick DeMarco. It's okay.
United by Rivets. United by Rivets.
Yeah, United by Rivets. I get it. Yeah, all right, we're good.
We're all good. But speaking of Rivets, we have not only a former Rivet, but a returning Rivet on the podcast today. Craig, can you give this guy the introduction of a lifetime?
the introduction of a lifetime. And now we want to go ahead and welcome in to the Rivets Rundown this week. Right-handed pitcher from Anderson University. He's going to be making a return this summer to the Rockford Rivets. My favorite, your favorite. He's all the coaches' favorites. Welcome into the podcast this week, Landen Southern. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How about you guys?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. I don't know if my picture is coming up all right, but I myself am doing just fine. How about y'all?
Landen, are you okay, bud, over there? I know that weather is just coming through there.
Yeah. We've been getting tornado warnings and watches, and it's been getting blown up like crazy. So,
yeah, I mean, you being a Lafayette, Indiana native, you know the deal. The weather kind of splits. It won't, right when it gets to West Lafayette area, the bad stuff just kind of goes around. And then if you're on the other side of Lafayette or West Lafayette, you're getting hit pretty hard.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it always blows through at random moments. So you never know which way it's going.
Well, hey, man, thanks for taking the time to come on to the Rivets Rundown here. I know that you're on the back end here of the baseball season here in the spring at Anderson University. And I know, you and I were texting the other day and you said that you guys had made the end of the season conference tournament. So just kind of give us a little bit of update on how you've been doing this spring and what's going on with you.
The spring has been going very well for me. Last year, I'm actually a junior. I know you said freshman, but I'm going into my junior season this year. So last year is my standout year. I'm going to my sophomore year. I had about 91 strikeouts, which is really big for me. And then I came here last year for the Rivets, pitched for the Rivets for the whole second half of the summer, and did very well down there. So I'm excited to come back and hopefully have another standout summer.
Well, Parker can attest to this, but we spoke with the entire coaching staff thus far, and it's pretty consensus across the board when we asked them who the first person that we should talk to was, and that was you.
Right.
And for many different reasons, but and there's a reason that you're coming back here for a second season. And can you give us a little insight about that, coming back to the Rivets here for the second summer?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I was pretty shocked that Vinny left, but I know Will's going to be – he's a great guy, great manager, and I think he's going to be very big for us for the summer. He's going to lead us to a lot of victories, a lot of dubs. I'm excited to see this roster. From what I can tell, a lot of standout names, a lot of good colleges and universities there. So, I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know you guys are looking forward to it. I've been hearing you guys saying it, and I mean, yeah, I'm pumped. Let's do it.
Hey, Parker, I think if you're still there, or either whether you're frozen or not, I wanted to let you know, Landen said something to me. I talked to him the other day, and he was talking about how he listens to this podcast. And so we've done it. We've succeeded. We have one of the players that are listening to us every week now and keeping up to date with everything and anything there is to do with the Rockford Rivets.
Exactly. That is great to hear. I know my screen may not look it, but I'm smiling right now. That's great to hear. But yeah, Junior, I have been in Rockford for a couple of years now. So Landen, can you just speak to how the Rivets have helped you develop as a player, seeing as you've been in Rockford before?
Oh, I know the Rivets are this league entirely. I mean, is a great standout. Great to get your name out there, and the draft is something I want to hopefully get into one year. Maybe not this year, depending on how things go, but next year for sure. So, I mean, yeah, this league, the Rockford Rivets, the managers, I mean, they're all guys that have been around in the loop for many years and know many people. So, but I mean, from a pitching standpoint, I mean, the managers themselves, they know what they're doing. They know what they need to get done. I mean, they're busting their tails every day to get guys in and out of the room and out of the locker room to get out there and get their work in. So, I mean, that's all I got really on that one.
Exactly. And you mentioned those 91 strikeouts. So looking at your stat log, going from freshman year 47 to 91 strikeouts. So is that just like your mentality to go forward, like to grow each year? And does that just speak to you as a player?
Right. Yeah. I mean, going in my freshman year, I knew I wouldn't get the starts that I've been getting. Last year really stepped up really in a big way for our team and contributed up and down the stat sheet, up and down the game log. Coming into this year, I knew I had that one spot on lockdown. So, I mean, I just really try to go out there and put my best effort for the team and for myself and really try to win us a lot of ball games and try to be a really great leader as well.
Exactly. And that's really all you can ask for out of a player. And speaking of those, not to keep on pointing back to it, but 91 strikeouts, that just has to be like such a big goal. As a player, do you find yourself setting those goals for yourself, or are you just one of those players that takes it one game at a time?
I really try to take one game at a time. I just look back at my stats last year and just think, wow, I mean, that's really exciting and really like, it's just going from like high school. I mean, I was a really small 2A guy or 2A. We were a really small high school. We really didn't have, I mean, not a lot of standout guys, I should say, but I mean, I stood out for my team. And then coming into college, I mean, I really expected to get a lot of innings, but I mean, as I worked my way up and worked my years, I get a lot of the innings and kind of just try to stand out a little bit more. So like I said, I also try to be a good leader and try to help these freshmen grow. And we have some freshmen coming from AU, freshman right-handed or left-handed pitcher, Noah Wadden. He's coming in the second half. And we got a lefty back coming in the first half with me as well. So I'm very excited to see what they can do for Rockford as well.
And what do you see now, this being your second year, in the Northwoods League? You've played a couple of years at Anderson University as well. What do you see the difference being from Anderson to playing with a different collection of players like all over? Because I mean, these guys from JUCO all the way up to D1 that you're playing in. So that, I mean, the spread is wide, but how do you take that as an advantage and grow from playing against players like that?
Right. I know coming in last year, my first at bat was just like a guy from Florida State. And it was just like, wow, this is awesome coming in and seeing this competition. And even like the guys on our team, and we had Nick DeMarco, Notre Dame. I mean, Braden Duhan down at McNeese State, and seeing this competition, it's just like, whoa, like this is a big step in my career. But no, I mean, we even see some D3 guys down here, and it's a very big step for me, especially translating from the Northwoods League to coming back to here to college. And it's just like, wow, I could really like dominate down here at this D3 level. So, but yeah, like I said, I mean, the competition is absolutely incredible.
But it's also the flip side though, because I mean, again, like you said, your first batter faced against a kid from Florida State. But then when you put them down, you put that punch out.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You sit them down, you're like, wait, hold on a second. Like the I don't know, like the motivation for you, like I said, coming from a smaller school, but also having aspirations to do something, you know, say possibly wanting to get drafted and be looked at in that way. But like, it's a reminder, like you said, you go to Anderson and you play against those kids, and then you play against somebody who's playing at a different level or a higher level, and you are successful. I mean, it has to be motivating for you as well.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely is.
Yeah, that has to be big. And getting back to your journey now, like you said, 3 years under you, been in Rockford before, but getting back to the beginning of it, have you always known about the Northwoods League? And when did you first learn about the Rockford Rivets? And what made you be like, all right, that's the place I want to go?
I actually got first connected with my head coach down here at AU. Matthew Bear connected with me with Vinny, actually. And he really, I know my coach here wanted to get me towards the bigger levels like the Northwoods League. And yeah, I mean, we really first set it up a nice little talk and like say, hey, like we're going to try to get you as much inning as we can down here at the Northwoods League and in Rockford. So, I mean, going in last year, it was just a really big step. And I thank Vinny for sure. I mean, giving me that opportunity and going in this year. And I'm just very excited. That's all I know.
How long are you going to take a little time off to transition? Because I mean, we are in the month of May,
right?
We're a couple weeks away from the Northwoods League starting, but also finishing up the season, your spring season at Anderson.
Yeah. So we actually, our last game, our conference tournament ends on the Sunday, which is probably the 12th, I think. So we start out Thursday the 9th, go to the 12th. So we report, I think, the 25th, if I'm not wrong. So I mean, we'll have a couple weeks and probably get some little workouts in and some bullpen sessions going. But I mean, yeah, it's been quite the ride here and ready to get going.
You mentioned earlier, like you're one of those veteran pieces. You like to help out the younger guys, and looking forward to this year when you have to go on those like long bus rides over to Traverse City and all those long bus rides. How do you, as a leader, how do you just like, all right, let's keep our heads up. We've been playing back-to-back games. Let's focus on the next game. How do you do that?
Right. I really don't like to get into guys much, but I will say, like, knowing those long bus rides, we experienced it last year going from Traverse City or from Rockford to Traverse City, and it's just like, wow, 7.5 hours is just like mind blowing. Because I mean, down here it's just like a short trip down the road to Terre Haute, Indiana, or something like that. So you just gotta try to keep the guys locked in, and especially going in the locker room. I mean, we first get off the bus, go in the locker room. I mean, we get that first dinner, we like sit down, we chit chat around, play some music in the locker room. And then we go out and stretch for a little bit. And I feel like that's really like the routine that guys like to have. And, that's something I like to interpret myself. I'd like to go on a little jog, walk around the grass on the outfield or something. So, it's really a routine for me. And I like to keep the same routine, especially down here. I like to give you guys a routine and, try to be that great leader. So.
Yeah, that's always a positive to take away, and that's what you got to do with that mindset. But going to this year, you mentioned Coach Vinny, and not going to be the coach this year. Got Coach O. So, what was the factor that led to you going back to the Rivets this year? What was like, all right, let's go back to Rockford? What led to that decision?
I instantly, when the season got over last year, we got back from Traverse City on that long road trip. I instantly texted Vinny right away. And was like, hey, I really enjoyed this summer, really want to come back next summer. And it was just one of those things, like the guys in the locker room, the guys that I met, the competition I played, I mean, was really big for my career. So I feel like it was really important to come back this coming summer, and really try to stand out again. So
something that we've talked about a little bit here on the podcast, and now getting the first player that's going to be on the field on here. Talk to us a little bit about the host family experience that you've had, it may or may not have had. And then also, if you want to give a shout out to your host family, we're trying to.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out the Campbells, man. They're really awesome. They work at the Rockford Rivets, and they really accepted me and really welcomed me when I first got there. I mean, going into my first year, I really didn't know what to expect, didn't know what it was like, but they really kept the door open for me. They made it feel like my second home, and I mean, it was a great time. I had a great time with them. Looking forward to, I have them again this year, so I'm really looking forward to them again.
Shout out to the Campbells again, front office, but thanks for being a host family and Landen again. Obviously, like that's a huge thing, right? Because I mean, people don't understand. Like, you go to college, you're in a dorm with another kid your age. When you go to these, you know, Rockford, Illinois, you're with a host family. You're with, you know, a family who's allowing you to come live with them for the summer, and like they're literally the lifeblood of this league and these players. And without them, I don't think we'd be able to play this league, right?
No, for sure. Yeah, shout out to Campbell's, man. Shout out all the host families. I mean, they're really important to all of us for sure. So,
hey, and I mean, bouncing off the host families, and I know that, you know, you're from Lafayette, Indiana, but I also know how that 3-hour difference can be. So what's the one food that you're looking forward to going to Rockford this summer that you maybe you don't have anywhere else that's only like local to Rockford?
Yeah, I know Dan makes a great cheeseburger, so I'm looking forward to those cheeseburgers. You know, the ballpark food's always great. I mean, shout out Rockford, shout out Campbell's, man. They're great. They're really welcoming. So I'm excited to get going.
I'll add the cheeseburger to my list, Craig.
Hey, we'll have to go grab a cheeseburger, but also, Landon, I'll have to take you over to a nice Euro place, and I'll take you over there. I don't want you to go over there by yourself, but there's a Euro place that you can go if you like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. At any time of the day, too. It's perfect timing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited.
It always helps to have a Rockford native when you're in your group, you know, a little tour guide.
For sure.
We're just trying to keep you guys safe this summer and introduce you to some great food. That's all. The goal is to win games and safely escape Rockford at the end of the summer. All
for sure. For sure.
Parker, what else you got for Landon?
Well, Landon, you know, you have a really impressive resume. Not that there's an interview or anything, but coming from Lafayette, Indiana, a little Midwest guy. So what does it feel to play, even though you're not in the same state, continue to play ball in some familiar areas, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I grew up around a little small high school. So, I mean, I had a cornfield right behind my home plate, cornfield to the left field. I mean, it was just cornfields everywhere. So, I mean, going from a little small town like that, coming into Rockford, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, it's a little bit like Lafayette, to be honest. So, I mean,
Parker, I can confirm my both children play near those cornfields that Landon's talking about, so pretty close to where he played. So
yep.
And Landon, so you mentioned you like to take it game by game. You're one of those players takes it game by game. But if you had to, we talked about this in our first episode, me and Craig. We talked about our goals for the year, like at the beginning of the season to the end of the season, like what we want to improve on. If like we look back on everything, what we'd be happiest about. So what's your hope to improve on most going into this year?
I knowing that I'm a veteran coming in this year, like I said, I want to be that leader for the younger guys. I know they may have some bigger, what's what I'm going to say, maybe the university's maybe a little bit bigger and they've experienced those guys that are top notch and willing to like do what they need to do to get drafted. But I mean, coming in D3 to my veteran year, my second year at Rockford, I really want to stand out for him and try to make him not really a better player, but a great leader as well. And that's something down here at AU that my coach likes to put in us. He's a great gamer and he wants to be a leader for us and really try to put not only baseball in our lives, but Jesus as well. I mean, we're a Christian at school down here. So he really likes to put that in the back of our minds and make sure that we know that we're playing for Jesus. So
it's great to see those two different ballparks going in at the same time, two different mentalities. And it's always great to see those players like you, Landon, that want to be a leader. It's not always about the X's and O's. It's not always about the skills. And it's great. It's going to be great to see that unfold this year. I mean, I'm excited to watch you up on the mound as well. So if there's any sneak peeks you can give us, what do you pride yourself in most when it comes to you on the mound? What do you pride yourself in?
Well, I tell you, my velo has came a long way ever since I first stepped in here at AU. I like to show off a little bit, but I've been up to 93 mile an hour on my fastball. So it's something that has really improved for me. I mean, great off speed. And I'm excited to see what kind of scouts are down there at Rockford and see what can really help me out for sure. So
that's awesome. And for me and Craig, we were talking about sneaking into BP one time. Would you take it easy on us?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Hey, listen, if this dude's clapping the glove at 93, I'm not stepping in the box. So you can go ahead and just get on all that, Parker, if you want. I'll stand there a while. I'll be the camera guy that day.
Nah, he gave me some great responses, some great fuel, and I have a lot of stuff to look forward to the year. It's great to talk to a pitcher, especially after we talk to members of the pitching staff and Coach OB, just talking about wanting to turn the team around or let the team pride itself defensively. And it's one of the veteran leaders, as you said, Landen.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I want to thank Landen Southern again for joining us here on episode 6 of the Rivets Rundown. Landen, thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you here coming up this summer. And I'm hoping that the hitters on the opposing teams are not looking forward to seeing you, especially hearing you hitting some velos like you are. It's not always about the hard pitch. It's about that breaking pitch that comes in and how that falls out, right? We'll see that this summer.
For sure.
So,
yep.
Good luck to Landen here this weekend in the HCA conference tournament at Anderson University. Landen Southern, everybody.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thank you, man.
What do you think, Parker?
Man, what do I think? I'm excited. I can't wait to watch him on the mound.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and you can see, after that short conversation, you can see why the entire coaching staff is so high on Landen Southern. Not just what he can do on the pitching mound, but also the character that he has off the field. And I mean, that just came through and drove there in that last 15, 20 minutes there. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what he does, and as he said, he wants to be a leader there at Anderson University. They teach him both faith and baseball, and not just how to be a baseball player, how to be a leader as well. And it's going to be great to see that unfold this year. I'm personally excited to see how Landen does. And we talked about his stats a little bit, talking about those 90 strikeouts in his previous year, but this year doing great as well. Year hasn't ended at 76 strikeouts, still has a long ways to go. As you mentioned, that conference tournament upcoming. So he's been growing ever since he started college ball, and now he's playing a little more collegiate baseball. So I'm personally excited to see him grow this offseason as well, or not offseason, on the Rivet season.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch him, coming off the college season that he's had, the one that he had last year, and watching how he continues to grow here this season. Again, we've talked about it here now for about 6 weeks now, the front office, the coaching staff, and now we're starting to get to see the players. They're putting together a really nice group of players here in Rockford, and I think that not just the name of the university that the student is or that the athlete is coming from, but the athletes that are going to put on the Rockford jersey this summer. I think that the fans in Rockford are going to be proud. Safe, everyone.
Yeah, I am safe, despite the Midwest flags out here. We're going fine. We're going fine. It's but yeah. So I can get a couple of 2 cents in. It was great talking to Landen. I had a blast talking to him. I know you've had a couple of exchanges with him, Craig, and you're familiar with the part of the land that he's from. But but it was just great to get a pitcher's perspective going into this year. And just, you mentioned it in the podcast. All the coaches were like, who do we talk to first? Landen. It's just, and that's exactly who it seems like. He's just that leader person. He was so well spoken, had nothing but great things to say, and more important, he just seems like a Rivet ball player.
Yeah, and again, you mentioned it, but like you can see why the coaching staff and why the front office wants someone like him around, both on the field and off the field. But I mean, he seems like a high character guy as well, and that seems like it's something that's important to him. And somebody that, the younger guys can look up to here on this team, which is also a plus to have on the field. I mean, not that you want another coach on the field, but I mean, you can have a coach on the field, for the other players to kind of set a good example for them. So.
Exactly. And didn't mean to interrupt your outro.
No. I didn't know what happened. I know that you experiencing some technical difficulties, which, I mean, you're going from one studio to the new studio. So getting everything.
Well, I won't name drop my computer, but it's having a little couple technical difficulties with the camera. But you know what? I'm still here. And you know what? Even with no camera, I feel like we still had a great episode.
hey, you're back, and that's all that matters. And so, I mean, the most important face that was on the screen was Landen's the whole time, and then you get to come back at the end. So
exactly, to close this out. But
all right.
Yeah, I feel like this was a great episode. Even with the technical difficulties on my side, we still had so much great content from the one and only Landen Southern. So it was just a great opportunity to talk to him. But for my partner, Craig Combs, thank you for setting all this up and joining me yet again. I'm PrimeTimePorrill. You're exiting the Rivets Rundown. Rivets out.